Well, hello, boys and girls, and welcome back to Tea Time with Mr. T. Now, first, I'm going to make sure we have our teacups. We're going to put our pinkies up because we're so very fancy, aren't we, George? Aren't we, Senor Bookman? Now, we come in for the clink. All right. Boys and girls, we have another fantastic story today, don't we, George? Another amazing story for everyone. Might look a little bit familiar, but it's not exactly what you're thinking. This is the Three Little Super Pigs, Once Upon a Time. This is also by Claire Evans. Let's see what goes on in this one. The Three Little Super Pigs, Once Upon a Time by Claire Evans. Once upon a time, there were three little pigs. They dreamed of becoming superheroes. In fact, they were so obsessed that their family house became cluttered with all of their superhero collectibles. So one day, Mother Pig told her little superheroes it was time to find their own homes, and she waved goodbye. They walked for hours, crossing dangerous rivers and climbing steep cliffs, until finally they arrived at their destination, Fairyland. After an exhausting trip, the pigs decided to set up camp for the night and build their new homes in the morning. Uh-oh. Does that look familiar? I wonder who that is. Didn't get a real good look at it. Maybe we'll get a better look a little bit later. Hey, Bigsby.
Oh, sorry, Mr. T.
What's going on?
I was just getting a closer look at the mysterious person in that story.
Ah, well, why don't you have a seat? I bet you he'll show up again.
Okay, just looks something very familiar about this whole thing.
Yeah, something very familiar, huh? What? Okay. While toasting marshmallows in their superhero costumes, the pigs met a new friend, Little Red Riding Hood. She warned them about the big bad wolf who'd been terrorizing Fairyland. The wolf had kidnapped Mary's little lamb and stolen sheep's clothing. He'd even been disguising himself as different grandmas and stolen their clothing. The pigs were warned to be on their guard. Hey, Red, Red, what are you doing? So Bigsby just showed up and now you're here. Yes, it's just, Mr. T, it's just this story seems very familiar. And that the girl. The girl? Yes, in the red. She looks familiar. Probably nothing. I'll go sit over here and listen to the story. Okay. All right. The next morning, two of the pigs were desperate to play superheroes with their new friends, so they built their houses as quickly as possible. The first little pig chose straw to build his house, and he gathered all he could find. The second little pig chose to build his house out of sticks, and he collected them from high and low. And in no time at all, their new homes were ready. While his two brothers were having fun, the third little pig was patiently building his house out of bricks. He wanted to make sure it was strong and sturdy, so he worked very hard. Look at this. Who joined him over here in a jump roping? And something looks different about one of these sheep. I don't know if you can see. Maybe it's nothing, huh? Or maybe it's something. Finally, all 3 houses were ready, and the pigs were very happy in their new homes. Suddenly, the first little pig was startled by a terrible growl outside his window. It was the big bad wolf. Little pig, let me come in," he cried. "Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin," squealed the panicked pig. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in," growled the wolf. Whoosh. And with one puff, he blew the house in. The first little pig ran for cover to his little brother's house of sticks. Little pigs, let me come in," bellowed the wolf. "Not by the hairs on our chinny chin chins," cried the pig. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." So he huffed, and he puffed, and whoosh, he blew the stick house in. Dodging the flying sticks and falling debris, the 2 little pigs ran as quickly as they could to their brother's house of bricks, narrowly escaping the nasty wolf, who was getting very angry and very hungry. Little pigs, let me come in," demanded the wolf. "Not by the hairs on our chinny chin chins," the pigs replied. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in," screamed the wolf. So he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed. But the brick house would not blow in. The wolf was furious. Suddenly, the pigs were startled by a loud clanging noise from outside. The cunning big bad wolf had made another plan to climb onto the roof and sneak down the chimney. Two of the pigs started to panic, but the third little pig had a super plan. He had been boiling a pan of water on the fire all along. And the book actually says how to boil a wolf. He planned it. So as the wolf came hurtling down the chimney, he fell bottom first into the bubbling hot pan. With a piercing shriek, he jumped out of the water, straight into the pig's net. The big bad wolf was defeated. The pigs waved goodbye to the silly old wolf as he was carted off to prison. With Fairyland safe at last, the pigs' dreams of becoming real superheroes had finally come true, as the whole town cheered their special new name. Hooray for the 3 little super pigs! All right, boys and girls, what did you think of that story? Was it a little bit familiar? Was it kind of like the last one we read about the 3 little super pigs? Only this one was Once Upon a Time. This was in Fairyland, huh? Yeah, this one had some other guests as well. Oh boy, Mr. T. Granny, what's going on, Granny? Well, I'm just kind of disappointed there. Disappointed you didn't like the story? No, it's not that. I like the story. It's just I'm disappointed that Bixby was at it again.
Wait, oh no, Granny, that wasn't me.
I saw you. I saw you in the story.
No, that was just a story. It wasn't me. I didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, well, in that case, do you want to go play hopscotch or something?
Hopscotch? Why, yeah, that sounds amazing. Come on over. We'll use cubes for hopscotch. How about that?
Oh, you and your cubes. Okay, well, I'm glad they got that settled, huh, George? Boys and girls, about this story, who were the characters? What was the setting this time? What was the setting of this story? And what happened at the beginning of this story? What about the middle? What happened in the middle, George? And what about the end? Senor Bookman, what happened at the very end of that story? Do you know? Well, maybe the boys and girls will help us out. Boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this story as much as we liked sharing it with you. We hope that you had a lot of fun listening to it, just as much as we had reading it for you. Right now, we're going to grab our teacups because we are going to sign off. We're going to put our pinky up because we're so very fancy. And we're going to come in for the clink. We'll see you next time, boys and girls. Bye-bye.